Okay, so I should be recording with good audio, and I'm going to be working with with Bard AI today, Google Bard. It's not the same, it's, by Google, and Chat GPT is by OpenAI. So I'm using Google Bard to develop a little bit of a financial strategy. I was telling a friend of mine about this, so I'm going to go on. I've got a little a little chump change investing account that I am using to, you know, try to build up an investment strategy over time. And so I'm going to see if I can use the AI to help me out on this a little bit. So um, without further ado, I'll hit us over onto the Infinity screen and then jump in and start working with Bard and see how it goes. Um, Actually, I did some of this, but already, but that's all right. We'll play with it, and I'm gonna scroll through and I'll run a play-by-play of how it went, and then we're gonna try some other stuff with it when I get done with the financial stuff. So let's get caught up here. All right, so there's the Infinity screen. Let me switch over and all right, so you should be seeing this um, now, and you can read on the screen. I'm gonna try to leave things on the screen long enough or repeat back what it replied with, and what I asked and what it replied, so you can get a better sense of how it was going. But I want you to notice, first of all, how to get to Bard. It's up here in the upper left corner of the screen, bard.google.com. All you need is a Gmail address, and it's free to use. So, there's no issues. I didn't see any. I didn't remember having to do any terms of service or agreement or anything like that. But when we get to the end of the Google or of the financial section here, I'll ask it whether or not there were any terms of agreement that I had to, um, sign off on to just use Bard that were not related to just having a Google account, period. All right, so the first thing I want to point out here is after how to get to Google Bard is um, one particular difference between Google Bard and ChatGPT. With ChatGPT, every time you start a new session, it loses the information on the previous sessions. It doesn't know about your previous conversations with it. It doesn't remember any of that. Google Bard does. It remembers you and it remembers your previous conversations. All right. So here I told it, "Good afternoon, Bard. I'm back for a bit. I have a few questions for you." And its response is, "Good afternoon. I'm glad you're back. I'm ready to answer your questions." Now, I did check it on being able to remember previous session conversations in an earlier session, and it did remember it. So, the first thing I wanted to find out is Bard able to create a Google Sheet and share it with me? In other words, can it do the grunt work of creating the Google sheet or spreadsheet? And it says yes, it can, but really it can't. It's telling you the steps that you need to do in order to create the Google Sheet. And it says once I receive the email, so it's telling you to share it with it via email, and then ask if it would like me to create the Google Sheet for me. And I'm telling it yes, I'm going to have you create two, and it says sure, I can create two Google Sheets for you. What would you like the name of the sheets to be? And so I responded I wanted current investments versus planned investments for the first one. So sure, I can create it for you. Here are the steps on how to do it. And it tells me how to do it, and then tells me to share it with it by email addresses, and asks me would it like me to create the Google Sheet now. And then I asked it, well, okay, what is your email address? And it says I don't have an email address. So obviously I can't share it with it. And yeah, so in other words, it's not going to be able to collaborate on a Google Sheet. I'm going to have to do that part myself. So I went in and created a Google Sheet for what I'm interested in, and basically tracking stocks and stuff. And so I built a sheet that talks about what stocks, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And like some basic parameters, like how long have they been paying dividends, what kind of dividends do they pay, how long have they been in business, so something about the company and things along those lines. So I got the sheet built and I started asking it. And the first question I wanted to know is, does it have real-time access to information on stocks such as price and how they pay dividends, how much they pay in dividends, if anything, their history with regards to dividends. And it tells me I don't have real-time information on stocks. I, all right, it's trained on a massive data set of text and code, but doesn't have real-time data. In other words, this is not updating continuously. And it says if you want real-time stock data, you need to get a financial website or app. So I told it basically what strategy I'm working on, and that I wanted to get a list of 50 stocks with a price under $50 that have paid out dividends for 10 years or longer, and as high a dividend payout as possible, meeting the first two criteria. And it ordered the criteria and priority from top to bottom, and then did that, and then asked me, do you want me to make the list? And I'm saying sure. So okay, so it popped up and gave me a list of different stocks that pay out dividends and what they pay. And you notice all of them are right around 10% ish here, and these are all stocks under $50. So I grabbed a copy of the list, of course, because I am actually going to pick away at buying a few shares of each of these, as like a few bucks a payday anyway, for right now. And then so I picked the first one on the list and asked it to tell me about it, and it went ahead and told me, what the company does, the name of the company, where they're located, when they were founded, etc., and their ticker symbol. So then I had to ask, when did they start paying out dividends? And it gave me a little bit of extra information about dividends, etc. Then I was asking about a stock that I have like one share in, with a ticker called GLPI. And it says there's no ticker symbol for GLPI. So yeah, I gave it the name of the company, etc. And then once it's once it got the name of the company, it was able to recognize it. And then I had to, get a little more specific on where are they, and etc. Um, so I went through with that, and I started asking about a few other companies because, I have a few stocks in a few other companies, and I was asking about who they are and what they do, and let that go through. And it had some issues with, some of this by asking about it by stock ticker. It wasn't exactly always able to get it, so I had to get, more data, and then tell it the name of the company, and then it was able to recognize it. So I went through a few of those, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not gonna leave them on there forever because you may want to follow your own path on this. And as I got through all that, so let's see. This section here in particular, I was talking about from right here on down. All right, let me clear that. Um, and let me show the two answers immediately above this. Okay, so it keeps telling me that GLPI is not a publicly traded company. It's a free and open source IT asset management software developed by the GLPI project. Um, and and I had to tell it, the actual name of the companies, and then it recognizes it and shows its stock ticker. So I tried to tell it here to, hey, your two answers are in conflict, and here's the issue. It's about context. So this is how I'm going to reference the other GLPI, and then I'll reference the GLPI. I mean the company. And then if I say it's Google's GLPI, well, I mean the other one. And it says, all right, I'll try and clarify with you which one you mean in the future. All right, so I'm kind of maybe trying to teach it a little bit. I don't know if it's able to learn that way, but we'll find out in the future. Okay, so I asked it, um, okay, how often are you able to see updates about these stocks? And I understand it's not in real time. And it said I'm able to see updates about stocks on a regular basis. I'm not, it's not in real time. So my next question was maybe you get updated daily as the markets close, and it's yes, that's correct. I get updated on new information about stocks on a daily basis, usually at the end of the trading day. All right. So it always also warns you, please note I'm still under development and my information may not be always 100% accurate. So be aware that this could be the case. It could be giving me inaccurate information here. And this is pretty run-of-the-mill stuff, as far as what I'm asking it for factual stuff about. And so I'm pretty confident that it's not leading me down the garden path here. And, what I'm doing is pretty much pocket change investing anyway. So I'm not afraid to try it and experiment with it. And then as as I get a few of these stocks, I'll be able to verify that they pay dividends with my investment app because it's going to tell me if it's a dividend paying account. So we'll find out about that in the future. Now, the next thing I wanted to play around with it with a little bit more here is uh, I was going to ask it some stats about UFOs and stuff. So let me get the stock stuff off. All right. And to do that, I'm just going to close the tab, open a new tab, and then I created a bookmark here to go straight to it. And I'm going to ask it, if it remembers my name. Your name is your name. Oh, that's interesting. This is our first time interacting with each other. Okay, so that's good to know. It doesn't actually remember everything that we've talked about. It's only good for about 3,000 words. So, um, that that is a completely different story from what I had thought was going on. But I would put this on. I would put Bard pretty close to on a level with ChatGPT 3.5 so far, based on previous interactions with it. So, good thing I copied that list that it gave me earlier because I wouldn't have been able to ask about it again. Okay, so let's ask this. I'm going to ask it. So I'm asking it about terms of service and EULA, et cetera, et cetera. As a language model, I'm not able to assist you with that. All right, so it can't tell me if I had to sign off on an end user license agreement or terms of service just to interact with it. See, these things are not all that just yet. They're pretty amazing, but they're not all that just yet. So, all right, let's talk about something else. I'm a language model and don't have the capacity to help with that. Okay, so they left UFOs completely out of the language model. That is interesting. Okay, so if you tell it where to look, it can learn about some of this stuff. All right, so I'm going to ask it how many UFO sightings there were. 4,743 UFO sightings reported in the United States in 2022, more than 2021. California, Arizona, and Nevada have the most. Why am I not shocked? And UFI, National UFO Reporting Center, maybe? National UFO Reporting Center. Okay, good. going to ask it what's the link. It can't give me links. All right, so ChatGPT had that same limit. I was not able to provide links. Okay, not that way. But notice up above, it was able to give links to Wikipedia as a source. Ah, there we go. Newfork.org. Yeah. So as you can see, how you prompt these AIs is a big deal. All right. And from some of the articles that I've read, it is a big dang deal knowing how to prompt an AI. So more time you spend working with these things and developing prompts for them, that's going to be a job skill in the future. Watch, mark my words here. That's going to be a definite future job skill for you. So, um, this is definitely interesting. So, let's see. I'm going to ask it what UFO sightings were the closest to here in Temecula. There's three. One on January 1st of 22 at 11 p.m. Bright white light moving erratically over the sky in Temecula. Another one on February 25th. Seen a large dark object moving slowly over the sky in Temecula. March 8th. Okay, I love this. However, these sightings do suggest that there is something unusual happening in the skies over Temecula. All right. Okay. All right. It's even encouraging me to report it. Okay. All right. So, Okay. So, yeah, that's these AIs are definitely interesting, but you're gonna have to work for it to get what you want out of them. That's the gist of what I'm getting here. Now, that doesn't mean they won't get more intelligent. For instance, I don't want to ask Bart about this, but there was a story recently about somebody had told a chat GPT bot to destroy humanity. And the thing started going out on Twitter, creating a Twitter account and going out on Twitter and trying to convert followers to its cult of. It was pretty crazy, but you know, as always, try to use these tools for good. They are just a tool, really, and you can see that this is not human intelligence yet. Um, there is one interesting thing though. Let's try this. Okay, so yeah, there is. Let's go ahead and hit the Google it button. Okay, so alpaca. All right. So yeah, you can download your own. And to be honest, if I were going to do that, I would do it on my laptop. Yeah, on my Linux laptop because it'd probably be easier. How to do it? All right. I might have to play with this putting an AI on my Linux laptop. That sounds like fun. Sorry I haven't been talking much in this tail end, but it's interesting reading. All right. The article I'm looking here, how to run a chat GPT like AI on your own PC on How to Geek, and I am going to bookmark that. Okay, because I may try llama or alpaca on my Linux laptop. I'll let you know. But Google Bard is actually a pretty decent alternative to Chat GPT. And let's kill the ad before it starts. And you can get to it by going to bard.google.com. And there you go. So thanks everyone for watching. Let me switch back over to on cam here. And these AIs, they're interesting, and I have a feeling it's only going to be more interesting from here. So, happy Vulcan fingers to you from the Agent of 42. May there never be a rogue wave in your coffee mug. And thanks for watching Midwestern Geek in Cali. You can find us at midwesterngeekincali.com, on YouTube, Midwestern Geek in Cali, or um, on Facebook, there's a Midwestern Geek in Cali group. You can search it out. I post all kinds of news stories in there pretty much daily in the group on Facebook. It's probably the most active. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It helps the channel. And good luck with your own interactions with AI in the future. Thank you again for watching.